When you wake up in the morning, what is the very first thought that comes to your mind? For many seniors, it might be a worry about health, a memory of the past, or sometimes even the aches in the knees. But what if I told you that the secret to happiness is not about what happens to us, but about the small mental tricks we choose every day? Yes, happiness is not just luck, it is a skill, and like any skill, it can be practiced. Today we are going to talk about 6 mental tricks happy seniors use every single day. These are not complicated, they do not require money or special tools. They only require you to shift your perspective just a little bit. And trust me, these tricks can make your golden years feel brighter and lighter. Now before we start, let me say this. Life after 60 is not always simple. We have seen loved ones come and go. Our bodies do not always cooperate, and sometimes the world feels like it is moving too fast. But here is the good news. We also carry wisdom, resilience, and the ability to slow down and savor life in a way younger people often cannot. The small mental habits we practice daily can decide whether we feel heavy or light, sad or joyful. So grab a cup of tea, settle into your chair, and let us explore these 6 mental tricks together. By the end, you might just discover a new way to smile at life. 1. Practicing gratitude in the smallest moments. The first trick happy seniors use every day is practicing gratitude. Now, gratitude might sound like a fancy word, but it is really just the act of noticing and appreciating the good that is already in your life. It is easy to complain, and let us be honest, sometimes we seniors can sound like the evening weather report. My back hurts today. The rain is making my knees ache. The price of bread has gone up again. And sure, these things are real, but gratitude shifts the focus. It is about saying, yes, my knees hurt, but I am grateful I can still walk to the garden. Yes, the bread is expensive, but I am grateful I had breakfast today. Let me tell you about Mrs. Thompson, an 80-year-old woman I once met at a community center. She carried a little notebook in her purse. Every night before bed, she wrote down 3 things she was thankful for. Some days it was big things like a phone call from her son. Other days it was tiny, like the smell of fresh coffee. Over time, she said this habit changed the way she looked at life. Instead of ending her day with worries, she ended it with warmth. You can do the same. You do not need a notebook if that feels like too much work. You can just say it out loud before bed or whisper a thank you in the morning. Gratitude does not erase problems, but it adds color to life, like painting over a gray sky with a rainbow. And when you start your day by focusing on what is good, your whole mood follows. 2. Reframing the past without regret. The second trick is learning to reframe the past without regret. Seniors have lived through decades of experiences. We carry memories that are both sweet and painful. Sometimes when we look back, we focus too much on regrets. Maybe we think, I should have saved more money. I should have traveled when I was younger. I wish I had been kinder to someone. These thoughts can weigh us down like heavy bags. But happy seniors have learned a different approach. They look at the past with a softer lens. They take mistakes and turn them into lessons, or even into funny stories. I remember an old neighbor, Mr. Ali. He once told me how he lost his first job because he accidentally spilled tea on his boss's important papers. At first he was crushed, but now, decades later, he laughs about it. He says that moment taught him not only to be careful with tea, but also that one mistake does not end your life. He moved on, built a career, and now shares the story with humor. That is reframing. Instead of carrying regret, he turned it into wisdom and laughter. You can do the same with your own memories. When you catch yourself thinking, I should have done better, try asking, what did this teach me? How can I smile at this now? Even painful memories can be softened when we choose to see the lesson instead of the loss. It is like polishing an old stone until it shines again. By reframing the past, we give ourselves the gift of peace in the present. 3. Using humor as a daily medicine. The third trick happy seniors use is humor. You have heard the saying, laughter is the best medicine. Well, it turns out it is true. Scientific studies show that laughter reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, and boosts the immune system. But beyond the science, laughter just feels good. I knew a grandmother who loved to play small pranks on her grandchildren. She would hide their toys, then pretend she had no idea where they went. The kids would laugh, and she would laugh even harder. That daily dose of humor kept her spirit young. Another example is my own uncle, who once put his glasses in the refrigerator by mistake. Instead of getting angry at himself, he burst out laughing and told everyone the fridge was his new glasses drawer. Here is the key. Happy seniors do not wait for life to give them a reason to laugh. They find humor in everyday moments. You can watch a funny clip online, read a joke, or just laugh at your own little mistakes. I once heard someone say that the ability to laugh at yourself is like having a secret superpower. It takes away stress and keeps you lighthearted. Think about it. Life will always throw us situations we cannot control. But if we can laugh, even a little, we remind ourselves that joy is always within reach. So the next time you forget why you walked into a room, instead of getting frustrated, just chuckle and say, well, at least I am getting my steps in. Humor is a daily choice, and it keeps happiness alive. 4. Focusing on what you can control. The fourth trick is one of the most powerful. Happy seniors focus only on what they can control. Let us be honest. There are many things in life we simply cannot change. We cannot control the weather. We cannot control the news on TV. We cannot control the choices our grown children make. And yet, many people spend hours worrying about these things. Worry is like rocking in a chair. It keeps you busy, but it gets you nowhere. Happy seniors have learned to ask themselves one simple question whenever they start to feel anxious. Can I control this? If the answer is yes, they take action. If the answer is no, they let it go. Take the example of Mr. Smith. He used to spend hours every evening watching the news and then worrying about everything from politics to the economy. It would ruin his mood and even his sleep. One day he decided to change. He told himself, I cannot control the government, but I can control how I spend my evening. So he switched off the TV after 10 minutes and spent the rest of the evening gardening. His stress levels dropped and his happiness rose. This does not mean we ignore the world. It simply means we stop wasting our energy on things beyond our reach. Instead, we put our focus on what we can change: our health habits, our daily activities, our mindset. By practicing this mental trick, life feels less overwhelming and more peaceful. 5. Staying curious and learning something new. The fifth mental trick that happy seniors use every day is staying curious and learning something new. Curiosity is like food for the brain. Just because we are older does not mean we stop learning. In fact, keeping our minds busy with curiosity keeps us sharp, alert, and much happier. Think of a child who discovers a butterfly for the first time. Their eyes light up with wonder. That spark of curiosity does not have to disappear with age. We can carry it with us at 60, 70, or even 90. I once met a 72-year-old man who decided to learn the guitar. When I asked him why, he laughed and said, because I never had the time when I was younger. Now I have time, and I want to make some noise. His guitar playing was far from perfect, but he had the biggest smile on his face every time he practiced. That is the beauty of curiosity. It is not about being the best. It is about keeping life fresh and exciting. Curiosity does not always mean learning an instrument. It can be as simple as asking questions about the world around you. Maybe you learn how to use a new app on your phone. Maybe you ask your grandchildren to teach you a dance move they saw on social media. Maybe you read a book on a subject you never studied before. Even something small like looking up a new recipe or learning a few words in another language can make the day feel alive. I know many seniors who feel intimidated by technology. They say, I will never understand these smartphones. But let me tell you, once they push past that fear and let their curiosity guide them, they surprise themselves. I saw one grandmother who finally learned how to video call her daughter overseas. The first time she did it, her face lit up like the sun. She said it felt like magic. That joy came because she allowed her curiosity to lead her instead of letting fear close the door. Curiosity keeps us connected to the world. It also reminds us that there is always more to discover, no matter our age. Happy seniors do not stop learning. They let their curiosity be their daily companion, and that is what keeps their hearts and minds young. 6. Choosing connection over isolation. The sixth and perhaps most important mental trick happy seniors use is choosing connection over isolation. Loneliness is one of the biggest challenges seniors face. Friends move away, family members get busy, and sometimes we feel forgotten. But the happiest seniors know that connection is a choice. They reach out, they say hello, they keep their doors and their hearts open. I want to share the story of Mrs. Lopez, a widow who lived alone after her husband passed away. For a while, she felt lonely and withdrawn, but then she started attending a weekly community center gathering. At first, she just sat quietly in the back. Then one day, she joined in on a game of cards. Before long, she was laughing, sharing stories, and even organizing potlucks. She told me later, "The moment I chose to step out of my house and connect with others, my loneliness started to fade." Connection does not have to mean joining a big group. Sometimes it is as simple as calling a friend, greeting a neighbor, or smiling at someone in the grocery store. Even small moments of connection can bring joy. Humans are social creatures. We are built to share stories, laughter, and support. Seniors who practice this mental trick remind themselves every day that reaching out, even in small ways, makes life richer. Technology can also help. I know some seniors who thought social media was silly at first, but now they use it to connect with old classmates, share photos, and even join groups where people their age discuss hobbies like gardening or travel. Instead of feeling isolated, they feel part of something bigger. The truth is, isolation can shrink our world, but connection expands it. By choosing connection daily, seniors build a support system, create joy, and keep loneliness at bay. The happiest seniors do not wait for others to come to them. They take the first step, and in doing so, they create a circle of warmth around themselves. Wrapping up the 6 tricks. Now let us take a moment to review the 6 mental tricks happy seniors use every day. First, they practice gratitude in even the smallest moments. Instead of focusing on aches and complaints, they notice blessings like sunshine, a phone call, or a good meal. Second, they reframe the past without regret. They do not let mistakes weigh them down. Instead, they turn them into lessons and even into stories that bring laughter. Third, they use humor as a daily medicine. They laugh at life and at themselves, knowing that joy can be found in everyday mishaps. Fourth, they focus only on what they can control. They save their energy for what matters instead of wasting it on things they cannot change. Fifth, they stay curious and keep learning something new, keeping their minds alive and their days exciting. And finally, sixth, they choose connection over isolation. They reach out, make friends, and remind themselves that life is better when shared. These 6 tricks may sound simple, but do not underestimate their power. They are like 6 small seeds. If you water them every day, they grow into a garden of happiness. So my friends, we have walked through 6 powerful mental tricks that happy seniors use every day. Gratitude, reframing the past, humor, focusing on what you can control, curiosity, and connection. These are the keys to a lighter, brighter life. They do not erase challenges, but they help you rise above them. They are not about pretending everything is perfect, but about finding joy even in the imperfect. Now I want to turn to you. Which of these 6 tricks will you try first? Will you start a gratitude habit tonight? Will you laugh at your little mistakes tomorrow? Or will you call an old friend and choose connection? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else who needs to hear it. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others who could use a little boost of happiness. Remember, happiness is not something we wait for. It is something we create, one day at a time, one thought at a time. Thank you for spending this time with me. Until next time, keep smiling, keep learning, and keep connecting. Because life at any age is too precious not to be enjoyed.